Thanks again for tuning into Revolutionary Lumpen Radio. This episode we do something different. We recorded the Twitch live stream of the inauguration of Joe Biden. So we discussed that. Brian really went hard on him. We discussed politics in general. Yeah, and just comment live. That's what we do on Twitch. Come and join us on that. And for anybody new listening, we are Revolutionary Lumpen Radio, the sickest revolutionary podcast to and from the lumpen for the masses. We do theory, analysis and interviews. You can find us at lumpen.co.uk or support us on Patreon at patreon.com/lumpenpodcast. Massive love and solidarity to all of our Patreon supporters. It helps fund the website, all the bills for storage fees, etc. We would like to continue to build this platform and do more projects, get more people involved. We've got a lot planned, but for now, this was a little something easy to record and then throw out dead fast, whilst all of the other projects that we're working on are being developed. Okay, so let's just dive into the Twitch stream on Biden's inauguration of the good cop, bad cop routine that's played on the American people every 4 years, so the masses are content with the blue jeans, white shirt.
What you're seeing here is just the pageantry of US empire, right? So this is the so-called peaceful transfer of power they brag about. But
what are your hopes and fears? My hopes are that Joe Biden will.
And you've got all of them soldiers there, all the Marines with the little hats on in there.
Yeah, it's just the pageantry. It's just the pageantry of US empire.
It's every single one of those soldiers now are from the street somewhere. Some proletariat out there who's had nothing going for them, or they needed education. And look at them, they think that the royalty, what is that?
Of course.
America. Who's that Lady Gaga?
Yeah.
In history, if he does the right things, and some might not want to hear that, but it's the
Oh my God,
that's what I'm saying. This is how ridiculous it is.
But what does it show you? It shows you all these soldiers thinking, I've been out there at the US Senate, I was there, that's what my service got me. This is the best day of their lives.
Probably
no better day. And then just to shove it in America's faces even more of just how much being famous and being a celebrity and all that is, they match it to royalty. And you've got this displayed Lady Gaga showing as if she's literally. Why is she?
She's gonna sing
by the Republicans.
No,
she's gonna sing the national anthem, I think, isn't she?
Okay.
Right. When she was coming down, I literally, because my wife and I are watching Bridgerton, I literally thought it might be a queen of some sort. So no, it's Lady Gaga. Let's listen for a second here, because I guess people like her.
Oh my God, she's actually singing the national anthem. They gave her a golden microphone.
A gold.
An actual golden microphone.
Oh no. Have you ever seen North Korea sing with a golden microphone though?
Even the cord is golden. This really is I can't think of the perfect and
that's the queen you were talking about.
The whole thing's ridiculous. The pageantry of it is absolutely ridiculous. It reminds me of I can't remember the proper metaphor or analogy or whatever, but there's something about gold-plated shit, and that's literally what this is. The American empire is in decay, it's crumbling, it's falling apart before our very eyes, and they're bringing out people to sing with golden microphones. The whole thing's ridiculous, it's absurd, the whole thing is insane.
Yeah, that you cannot polish dog shit.
Yeah, but also I just mean the golden everything, where there's a veneer of golden finery, but ultimately it's putting lipstick on a pig, right? That's not a comment on Lady Gaga herself. It's a comment on the American empire is the pig. And the lipstick here is the golden microphone. It's the golden everything. It's the finery and the shiny and the golden and the.
It's not bad.
It wasn't.
Yeah, she can sing. It's not bad. Like,
gusto there.
it's ridiculous.
Enough.
What it is to me, it's like it's blatantly how the ruling class see her. So as much as like people might look up to Lady Gaga as if she's like some queen or something because of her fame or success as an artist, and that she's just relate this down to like feudal terms. She's just a jester for the ruling class. They can all just sit back and clap. You entertained us today. You are my entertainer. And it's nothing. You know what I mean? Because she's got no power. As much as wealthy as she is, she's just a jester to these people.
I wonder if we're gonna see like. We saw them a little bit. You can see Obama there, like just on the right-hand side, neck behind the guy with the white mask. But all ex-presidents are here as well. There's Obama, look. But all the ex-presidents are there, so that it goes all the way back. Who's the oldest living president? He was a peanut farmer. He had a peanut farm. He was Jimmy Carter?
Jimmy Carter?
Yeah, he had a peanut farm. I think he's the oldest living president.
Woman vice president.
Oh my God, Klobuchar again. How did you get 2 speeches?
To welcome to the
You are the most boring speaker as well.
to ever serve on the Supreme Court of the United States of America.
Who?
Justice Sonia Sotomayor.
Oh, Sotomayor.
I love Sotomayor.
Why are...
Remain standing for the oath of office and musical honors.
Well, that's not Sotomayor. Okay, here she is. Wait, you coming up to the microphone or what? What's happening here? Like a weird pageantry blip? Oh, this is the actual inauguration.
I, Kamala Davy Harris, do solemnly swear
I, Kamala Davy Harris, do solemnly swear
that I will support and
Can you not turn this up harder?
I can turn it up, yeah.
defend.
I just didn't want to be talking over it.
So you're substantially you're like 700% louder than that anyway.
Oh, right. I did not know that.
bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I take this obligation freely
That I take this obligation freely
Ugh, I hate this. I hate everything about this.
of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose.
Oh, today is the day that
faithfully discharge
Amy Klobuchar became
faithfully
president.
discharge
the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
the duties of the office
Ugh.
upon which I am about.
Time to become a war criminal.
Help me God.
So help me God.
Look how giddy they are, honestly, like...
Small thing to have the first female vice president. A gigantic thing. A wonderful
Crazy.
thing.
It's a nothing thing.
That's like an actual, just like a human being, isn't it? So like,
It's a nothing
But
thing.
it's just a
like that's
wonderful,
one
wonderful,
human
wonderful
being. Now
moment
she's got all
to
this
finally
power
break through.
over like the
I mean, for
people of the
God's sake,
United States.
51% of the
It's
population
like
are a
it's legal,
democracy,
it's in
and it
writing,
took
and
what
people
46
support it, and
administrations before
all
we had
down
a
to
female
fucking cohesion and
in
consent.
the executive branch. It's just the
I don't know why everyone is so happy that women get to be war criminals now, too.
world.
It doesn't make any sense.
Indescribable.
Like, that's liberalism right there. Like, identity over
In the year 2021
policy.
is
Like,
really
oh, but she's female. Okay, so?
It's happened today.
What's she gonna do as vice president?
We've begun.
Oh my god, who is this? Is that J-Lo?
And so it's
This is
just-
look.
I
This
can't
is
say
it's like
enough
watching
great things about it.
WrestleMania.
Who is this?
WrestleMania is actually more
she did
spectacular.
not emphasize.
Is it J-Lo? Am I losing my mind?
Lineage during the primaries. That notwithstanding, having the first Asian in the executive branch is also a great moment for America.
I think it is.
Because we're
I think
supposed
so.
to be a melting pot. It doesn't get any more melting pot than Kamala Harris.
I don't know my celebrities as well as I could, okay? I don't care about celebrities or celebrity culture at all, but I'm pretty sure that's J-Lo.
For America,
What the
because this
fuck?
is what America was supposed to be.
Are you gonna sing again? Is this... What?
I don't know if we're going to J-Lo, but that's my president. right there.
Jesus.
But anyway, yeah, and to your point, like there are some people who probably agree with us quite a bit on policy that it's become sort of like a totem to be opposed to really
Wow, they're actually just singing again. What is this?
Increased representation and all of that, but that's not me. I think we can obviously have very high expectations for policy and positions and advocacy, and we can also notice when history is being made and recognize that.
Who's the babushka behind her in the
significant thing
in the headband?
Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, I was just gonna say I completely agree with that, John. And as obviously someone who's black, this is huge, right?
It's not huge.
In the 80s.
This is liberalism. It doesn't matter whether the president or the vice president is female or black or transgender or gay. It doesn't matter. They're still stewards of the empire. They're still going to topple countries in the global south. They're still going to be stewards of the global empire. They're still going to murder innocent black and brown children in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Yemen. Right? This is definition of liberalism. Oh, this place is slightly darker, therefore it must be a good thing. No.
Right now, with her nieces,
I think what it is to him, it's progress because obviously as a liberal, he wants,
it's about
if he's going to be bullshitted, he at least wants it to be believable. If he wants to take part into passivity in the electoral politics of bourgeois politics, he at least wants it to look like it's genuine. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about aesthetics. It seems more believable that America's progressive because there's more black people in prominent positions because they get to sing during the inauguration.
So let's just.
Oh yeah.
It's the most surface level reading of politics understandable. It's just like.
But I mean, it is just like that meme where it's got that big fucking bomber and it says Democrats, and then you've got the other big bomber and it's got the pride flag and everything else, and it says oh no, that's the Democrat, isn't it? And Republicans are without all of the stickers and the icons that show progress. So yeah, it's all down to aesthetics. I'm happy that he's happy that he gets to live each day more ignorant because he's being fed more believable bullshit.
I don't know, the whole thing's ridiculous. Even the song, this land was built for you and me. I'm just imagining being a Native American watching this, being really? Was it? What'd you think about that? Was it really for you and me? Wasn't a genocide of one of us? And
who cares? Anyway, back to Klobuchar.
The sun is shining, and Mr. President...
Where do you get another speech? What is happening?
In the history of America, where J-Lo was the warm-up act for Chief Justice Roberts. With that, it is now my distinct honor to introduce the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States,
and they can make jokes about themselves.
I think that was a joke about a joke because, they're joking about how that was an actual joke instead of, all of the nonsense jokes she used to tell on the campaign trail.
A lot of QAnon heads are about to explode.
Wow, this is the actual inauguration, and this is happening, right now.
The cloud is, literally parting as we speak.
That's liberalism right there.
This is
the cloud is parting. What's the cloud?
Great, I feel at this very, very moment.
Look how happy. I'm going to turn this up because these guys are just spouting liberalism.
Of Trump. I mean, Trump was, laughably horrible. I feel great right now too, and I can't stand Joe Biden. So that just,
All right, let's.
You won't be able to hear what I'm saying, then. I mean, I guess you can listen to it through the stream, but there'll be a delay.
Yeah, on the stream. I'll just join the call now.
Swear. I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute. The office of
innocent people in the Middle East. I will faithfully execute innocent people in the Middle East and the global south.
To my ability, will to the best of my ability. Preserve, protect.
That's what it should say. I will faithfully execute
the
innocent people in the global south, black and brown people in Iraq and Afghanistan, Syria, Yemen.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Down goes Trump! Down goes Trump! One more and final time. Down goes Trump. So no longer president, no longer.
Why did he recover all those brain cells?
Fascism has been defeated in America.
Look at this liberalism. Fascism has been defeated in America. Why? Just because Biden's president? These are people that fundamentally do not understand what fascism is. They don't understand what it is. They don't understand what it looks like. They don't understand system and structures of politics at all. Anyone who tells you that fascism has been defeated just because Joe Biden is president now is ridiculous. They're children. You should not take these people seriously. They don't understand politics. They don't understand what they're talking about. They don't understand fascism. They don't understand liberalism. They don't understand systems and structures of politics. They don't understand the United States. They just don't understand anything.
When Trump now has no power at all, none. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. You loser of losers. You fascist of fascists. It's
childish, honestly. Like
awesome. It's awesome.
And it's funny because I completely understand why
hell no.
The political landscape in America is ridiculous and that no one knows what they're talking about in America. Because this is supposed to be like the left news show. And they're morons. They don't have any idea what they're talking about. He literally just said you voted out fascism. That sentence alone should disqualify you from any serious conversation about politics. You don't vote out fascism. Like, imagine living under, like, Hitler and being like, oh, if only we could vote, we'd get him out there real quick. That's not how that works. Like, imagine living under Mussolini or Franco or Hitler and coming to the conclusion that oh, I know how we deal with this, you just vote. No, that's not how that works at all.
Like, what people really need to remember and then reiterate as well,
and you
is the
experienced
fact
a
that,
lot of
like,
strike back
for
for
what,
that.
over 40
so for those
years,
of us now launching back into a
Biden
democratic
sat in
administration,
the Congress of the United
and
States
I know a lot of the media is probably ready to just, oh God, it's done.
Trump come
now we don't
along
have to worry,
in those
but
4
that's
year
not realistic.
Biden
so
was
what can
still
we
in
expect
Congress as like one of the
we
main
inevitably
fucking
are going to be
heads in the
disappointed
United
with the
States.
number of things Biden does and doesn't
Trump
do,
left,
and we feel the need to continue to be
now
critical of him
somebody
as we
from
were of Trump.
Congress is now a president.
How are you feeling
so you
about the
haven't
next few years
like
when
had
all of the
somebody in
Democrats
who
turn against
like
you and
shook up the
TYT
system or
again?
nothing? All you've had is somebody come in, let all of this frustration out there for all the fascists and that, and then he's left, but it's still the state. It's not like somebody else from a left-wing background or anybody else from the masses has risen up and then entered into like this position. It's literally a former congressman of the capitalist United States for over 40 years becoming president, and this is the most progressive presidents that the US left was even suggesting to each other. This is Bernie Sanders' candidate, everybody. This is Bernie Sanders' candidate who he gave up his own like election for and give it to this member of Congress for over 40 years. So I mean, all you're doing is empowering the previous capitalist imperialist state even further. So it's not even the slightest bit of regression from fascism, because as we say, Trump isn't like ideologically fascist. He's just fascist because he's just grown up and has that ideology from obviously the base and the superstructure. But Biden is an active like fucking person who shapes the base and the superstructure, and he's just far more worse.
Not of a candidate.
The whole thing's ridiculous. Like, the systems and structures that exist there are designed to filter out anyone making it to the presidency that would actually enact any real change, right? In the same way that universities are filtration systems for the upper class, right? That's why the whole, like, you went to an elite university so you can get the elite jobs. Colleges and universities are filtration systems. The best or the worst, depending on how you look at it, filtration system in the world is the system that surrounds the US political system, all the way through Congress, up to the presidency, right? No one makes it through that system who's actually going to fundamentally change things. And if you think otherwise, then you're fundamentally ahistorical, right? Like, name one person who did that. Obama certainly didn't. Obama was all hope and change and yes we can, and then he got in and it was, we're looking backward, we're not looking forward, we're looking forward, we're not looking backward, right? Like, he didn't prosecute any of the Bush torture people. Like, he was just a steward to the US empire, and he said at the end of his presidency, like, oh no, I'm just my policies are that of a Reagan in the 80s. Like, I'm a Reagan Democrat or something, he said. Like, his policies were just Reagan. So the whole political system, the whole Overton window is sliding to the right. People keep calling them left wing, but they're essentially like, if Biden existed in the UK political system, he'd be to the right of our conservatives. So, like, this whole thing's ridiculous, and you've got all the Capitol Police there because, of course, there were, like, tens of thousands of them descended upon the Capitol after the storming of the building. They divided the whole thing up into, like, green zones and red zones, and you can't go here, and you can't move here, and...
Have taken the oath first sworn by George Washington. But the American story depends not...
The whole thing's ridiculous. Honestly, like, the people who I have the shortest fuse with are people that think that things are different now that Biden's in charge. Like, honestly, all these liberals on screen, and that's what they are. They're liberals, they're capitalists.
Hold up. Just to interrupt you,
what's up?
Don't they normally have the former presidents and the current president shake hands during the transition? Trump's not up here, is he?
I have no idea if that normally happens.
I could swear the old president used to like go up and like shake hands and then change it over, but Trump's not there.
Yeah, maybe. But no way Trump's there. Trump ran away. Like, he's gone. Like, he's probably not even in this state anymore. Like, he's probably in, I think he changed his residency to live in Mar-a-Lago in Florida now, so he's probably, like, in Florida or on his way to Florida, something like that. Like, he's not even anywhere close to this building. He's gonzo. He's out of there. He's outie 5,000. Like, he ran. But either way, again, it's pageantry and it doesn't matter. Right? Like, I guarantee you, Biden will be worse than Trump on some things, just like Obama was worse than Trump on some things, and that doesn't mean that Trump's good. But when you look at deportations,
hundreds of
Obama had way more deportations in his first term than Trump did. He just did. So this is nonsense. This is liberalism definitionally. It's pageantry. Nothing's fundamentally going to change. He's just another steward of American empire. He's going to bomb more countries. He's going to go back to bombing Afghanistan, bombing Iraq, bombing Libya, bombing Syria, bombing... You know, he's going to continue the shadow operations in Africa. Like,
we will defeat.
It really annoys me. It really does annoy me when people, you know, genuinely think that, like, oh, we fixed it. We fixed things now. Now that Biden is we fixed it, guys. We did a fix. It's just like, no, that's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. Like, these people commenting at the bottom, look, my anxiety just packed a bag and hopped on a bus. Well, that's a terrible thing. You should be anxious for what Biden is going to do in the name of the US empire. Right?
Abraham Lincoln.
Like, Anthony Blinken, I forget his position, but he's like Secretary of State or some shit for Biden. He wants to, I just tweeted it out yesterday, he wants to overthrow Venezuela again. And that's the guy that Biden put in charge. So there is no break from the American empire. It's going to go right back to business as normal. Okay? He's going to go back to pillaging the Middle East, back to exploiting the global south, back to murdering innocent men, women, and children in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria. There is no break here for the American empire. Yeah, look at these people at the bottom. America, we got work to do, but we're back. What does that mean? America's back. Where did it go? It never left. It's never been anywhere other than where it was. Like, I don't understand what you're talking about. What does that mean? America's back. Where did it go? It's always been exactly how it was. This is always how America was. This is what you got. This is America. It's always been this way. It's basically 3 corporations and a military wrapped in a trench coat. That's all it is.
We can write.
And look how happy these libs are that
we can teach our children.
People change from, you know, one maniac to another maniac. Like, this guy is so egotistical. He stuck around in Congress for like 50 years. He ran for president like 7 times, 8 times, and on his 8th go or whatever it was, he finally succeeded. Like, what kind of an egotistical maniac do you have to be to put yourself through that for your entire life?
These days,
7 or 8 runs at the presidency, and he sucked in the previous goes. He got blown out of the water crazy early. I think the first time he ran was like 1988, and there was a huge scandal because he made up these giant lies about, I got arrested with Mandela, I was there, I marched with MLK, and it's just pure bullshit. Like, and people just don't care anymore. It's Trump, so everyone just goes Trump, 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 Trump. So again, he was elected. But
The battle is
it was exactly what Malcolm X talked about, like, in order to get you to vote for the fox, they have to show you a wolf. That's exactly what this is, right? Biden was the fox and Trump's the wolf. They pointed at the wolf and they went, he's a wolf, so you have to vote for the fox. But guess what? Foxes and wolves, they both eat chicken. And that's all the American people are to them. That's what they're just the subjects to be ruled over. They're the chicken that we can do whatever we want to. So now he's going to come up with nonsense. He's going to give the pageantry and the speech. He's going to give, the lip service. But he's not going to do anything. I'll be surprised. I've already made predictions that have come true on Biden. Like, remember that first prediction was that, he's going to overthrow Venezuela again? That's already been proven correct with the Anthony Blinken. I tweeted it out yesterday. But I don't think he's going to do much. He's definitely not doing Medicare for all. That's not happening. He's probably not going to raise the minimum wage. That's not happening. It was in that bill that everyone was happy because it's going to pass, whatever. I guarantee by the time that gets passed, it's not happening. They're going to take it out. They'll amend it. They'll, whatever. It's not going to happen.
Of crisis.
On COVID, yeah, fine, sure, okay. Executively, he'll probably do more on COVID.
Meet this moment.
But that's fine because Trump did literally nothing. Like literally. He downplayed it and, told everyone it wasn't a big deal not to wear a mask. So to be better on that issue is incredibly easy. All you have to do is say wear a mask and you're instantly better than Trump on that issue. So that's not difficult. It's not domestic issues where you're really going to see the difference here. It's internationally, where there will be no difference. It will be business as normal for the military-industrial complex, the prison-industrial complex. The American empire will steamroll on like it always has. Nothing will fundamentally change in that department.
Raging fire, destroying everything.
I mean, he said so, right? That was a literal Biden quote from when he was running. He said to his donors, nothing will fundamentally change. That was literally a quote. That's what it's going to be. He's just not going to.
Cells are manipulated.
And those are the previous presidents right there. Look, you've got Bush and Clinton, Pence, former VP.
My fellow Americans.
Hillary Clinton's next to him.
Different than this.
Clinton, oh my God, Hillary Clinton has to be so pissed right now. Like, Trump lost. She lost to Trump, and now Biden's being elected from her party, and she's probably just thinking, man, that should have been me. That's hilarious. Get fucked.
Yet we endured. We prevailed.
I've never seen those flags before. I don't know what those flags are. They're like the American flag, but the stars are in a circle instead. What is that? I've never seen the flag like that.
I thought it was just something from like the 13 colonies or something.
Yeah, I'm not actually totally sure what that flag is. It's basically just the American flag, but the stars are rearranged differently. Instead of like the normal, horizontal alignment, it's like a circle of stars. I've just never seen it that way before. It's probably just the exact same thing, same number of stars, just in a circle, but I don't know why.
Here we stand.
That's his wife and his daughters.
From Arlington Cemetery, where heroes who gave the last full measure of devotion rest in eternal peace. And here we stand, just days after a riotous mob thought they could use violence to silence the will of the people, to stop the...
They've got like a literal watchtower like right in front of it. I kind of would like to climb that ladder though.
Cameras all around it.
It will never happen.
Yeah, that's where they get this shot from, on that tower.
Ever. Not ever.
Bernie's mittens are trending? Is that true?
Movement. And remember, women got the right to vote only 100 years ago. It's unbelievable.
I'm humbled by the
because there's some better things to talk about, like fucking materialism.
Let me say this.
Women getting the right to vote was a concession by capital, right? Like, if you look at the actual original suffragette movement, they didn't actually want all women to vote. They wanted, because at the time they wanted land-owning women to vote, like rich women to vote, because they didn't want like prole women to be able to vote. It was just that the women in the bourgeoisie were mad that only the men in the bourgeoisie had control over the political system, and they wanted control over the political system as well. So, you get a suffragette movement, and it's branded as like women's rights, all women together, this was done for the good of all women, but it wasn't. It was only bourgeois women that wanted it. Bourgeois women didn't want fucking prole women to vote, because there was still you still had to own like 50 acres of land in the worst states to enable to vote. You had to be a white land-owning male.
Many centuries ago,
and then it became white land-owning female.
My church wrote that a people was a...
They probably abolished the landowning requirement by the time women got the right to vote, but whatever. The point stands.
Defined by the common objects of their love.
Again, more lip service. He's just going to talk some more about we're actually really good. Oh, hang on. I'm going to have to turn the oven on a second. Be right back.
I think we know. Opportunity, security, liberty, dignity, respect, honor, and yes, the truth.
Yeah.
Recent weeks and months have taught us a painful lesson. There is truth and there are lies. Lies told for power and for profit. And each of us has a duty and a responsibility as citizens, as Americans, and especially as leaders. Leaders who have pledged to honor our Constitution and protect our nation, to defend the truth and defeat the lies.
All right. Now I've turned the oven on. My food is actually cooking.
I understand.
What's he been going on about, honestly? I haven't actually been listening to it at this point, but I imagine it's just lip service, we're great, America.
About like freedom, liberty,
yeah, exactly.
Honor, all of the things that make America great.
Of course.
At night, staring at the ceiling, wondering, can I keep my health care? Can I pay my mortgage?
Bruh, you need to stop talking about these things because you're not going to do anything about it.
About what comes next?
Like, he gives a talk about, like, oh my god, all those people who are worried about not having healthcare. You're going to give them healthcare, Joe? No? Then shut the fuck up about it. Why are you literally reminding people that you're not going to do dick for them? It's like taunting them. It's like rubbing it in their face. Like, what are you doing? You're literally reminding people of all the things that they don't have that you're not going to give them. Shut up about it. Why are you doing this?
Versus urban. Conservative versus liberal. We can do this if we open our souls instead of
God.
our hearts. If we show a little tolerance and humility, and if we're willing to stand in the other person's shoes, as my mom would say, just for a moment.
This is nonsense. No, I don't actually want to stand in the shoes of racists. Sorry, dude, I'm not going to be doing it. Right, this is the actual flaw behind this whole peace, unity, and harmony narrative. I don't want to be peaceful and harmonize with racists. Sorry, dude, I'm not doing it. Right? So he has this, like, complete idealism in his mind that, like, oh, everything will be happy if we just be happy. And it's like, that's not going to happen. That's not how that's going to work. At all. These people don't give a shit about you. They're frothing at the mouth racists that...
My fellow Americans.
Oh, look, here's that book I was reading.
We're going to need...
Ciao. Materialism versus idealism.
To persevere.
I'm reading a book on dialectical materialism and science, bourgeois science, but that's a different conversation. I can't even remember what I was talking about.
And finally faced this pandemic.
Did he just say healthcare for all? Okay, yeah, he said it. Guess what? You're not getting it. He should have said, that healthcare for all? Fuck you. Not happening, right?
Endure for a night.
He's not going to give it to people. He literally said Medicare for all is not happening. So,
together.
It's nonsense.
Together. Look, folks. All my colleagues I serve with in the House and the Senate.
Literally, he's giving a speech there about, like, unity and coming together, and the Republicans are plotting to, like, impeach him day one. I'm pretty sure that's what he said, that someone said that was what's going to happen. So he's there trying to, like, hug the Republicans, and they're, like, stabbing him in the face, and he's like, no, I just want to hug, and they're just like, stab, stab, stab. He's like, no, just hug me. He fundamentally doesn't understand how power works and how the American system works. He's literally the president, and he doesn't get it. He doesn't understand this at all. It's ridiculous.
And will lead not merely by the example of our power, but by the power of our
example. Yeah, congratulations. That's been said 1 billion times. That's not new. Why don't you just plagiarize another quote while you're at it?
Strong and trusted partner for peace.
Peace.
Security.
No leader of the American empire can ever talk about peace unless it's followed by this. Well, I'm gonna do peace, so I'm dismantling the military. It's like,
I'd like to ask you to join me in a moment of silent prayer.
No.
Remember all those who we lost in this past year to the pandemic. Those 400,000 fellow Americans.
I don't give a fuck about your prayer. Do something. Can't you already sign an executive order? Like, actually do something materially instead of just putting your hands together and hoping for the best. Because that's all you're doing. I hate to break it to you guys. Prayer doesn't do shit. It doesn't do anything. So I don't want your prayer. I want actions. I want you to do something. I want you to actually sign an executive order and give those people healthcare. I actually want you to, like, give a fuck about your prayer.
Amen.
Folks,
this is a time of testing.
Honestly, we're ruled by, I mean, not we, because I don't live in America, but we're all ruled by nutcases, honestly. Like, sycophantic psychopaths, like genocidal maniacs.
Crisis. America's role in the world. Any one of these would be enough to challenge us in profound ways. But the fact is, we face them all at once.
And you're gonna do absolutely fuck all.
Responsibilities we've had. Now we're gonna be tested. Are we gonna step up? Always. It's time for boldness.
Yeah, no boldness.
There's so much to do. And this is certain. I promise you, we will be judged, you and I, by how we resolve these cascading crises of our era. We will rise to the occasion is the question. Will we master this rare and difficult hour? Will we meet our obligations and pass along a new and better world to our children?
No.
I believe we must. I'm sure you do as well. I believe we will.
You won't.
We'll write the next great chapter in the history of the United States of America, the American story. A story that might sound something like a song that means a lot to me. It's called American Anthem.
I swear to God, if he starts singing, I'm going to lose my mind.
That stands out, at least for me. And it goes like this. The work and prayers of century have brought us to this day. What shall be our legacy? What will our children say? Let me know in my...
They'll say your entire generation destroyed the planet, destroyed the economy, and then gave nice speeches about, well, the history will look on us some way, maybe it'll be good, and I don't really know, and,
to the unfolding story of our great nation. If we do...
Ain't nothing great about that nation.
Then when our days are through, our children and our children's children will say of us, they gave their best. They did their duty. They healed a broken land.
Oh my God.
Americans, I close the day where I began, with the sacred oath. Before God and all of you, I give you my word. I will always level with you.
No, you won't.
Defend the Constitution.
No, you won't.
I'll defend our democracy.
No, you won't.
I'll defend America. And I'll give all...
If defending America means I will bomb brown people in Afghanistan, he'll do that.
In your service, thinking not of power, but of possibilities, not of personal interest, but the public good. And together, we shall write an American story of hope, not fear, of unity, not division, of light, not darkness, a story of decency and dignity, love and healing, greatness and goodness.
Love and healing.
The story that guides us.
These people really do think, like, emotions drive nations. Like, oh, if you just be happy, then that solves everything.
We met the moment. Democracy and hope, truth and justice did not die.
All of this nonsense. Hope, truth, justice, feeling, emotion. Dude,
just like,
none of these...
Because obviously, because like states don't exist, like borders don't exist, territories don't exist. All they are is just like storytelling, isn't it? So he's trying to tell a new story of America for people to follow, because people's opinions of what America is are closer to the truth than this actual like storytelling bullshit that people are fed. So now he's gotta like, this is what it is. It's like sitting down with the American people. This is the story of our nation. This is our history. This is who we are.
Yeah, it's just propaganda.
To be a fucking character in America. You'll think that you'll think that they're on a reality TV show, and this is part of like the broader reality TV show that like
around on time.
You know, that they're all a part of. It's fucking, I mean, it's just totally bizarre, so primitive. I feel like I'm looking at human beings from like literally like the 1500s or some shit, and I'm just like, what is going on with these liberals? I feel like I'm obviously, I'm like an alien to these. It's like a completely just fucked up. Honestly, I just feel like it's just a completely different species to me, honestly, and it is. I mean, every single one of them are parasites. You know what I'm saying? Guaranteed that they've got different DNA than us bros, and it's because they're fucking parasites.
Dragging local out.
Ideological parasites as well, though, because as well as physical, and literally taking it from us and our physical labour and our energy and all of that shit, and they're also latching on to us ideologically and like making us perform things through ideology and culture and this storytelling that you obviously just got to be aware of. And obviously the difference with like Marxists is we're not trying to build up this story of history or great people. We're simply trying to uncover like the truth of through scientifically what fucking world we're living in and why.
It's just shaping the ideological narrative, honestly. Like such a large part of liberalism is just pageantry, and it's just lip service, and it's just giving the right speeches and saying the right words. Like, people get so caught up in that nonsense instead of actually looking at what they're going to do. Because anyone who knows who Biden is, anyone who's actually followed Biden in politics for the last 40, 50 years, whatever, knows what he's for, knows the bills he's written, know the bills he's co-signed, know the bills he's sponsored, knows the bills he's passed. There is a 0% chance he's going to do anything like positive for the workers or for black and brown people or for any kind of minorities. It's just not going to happen. Like it really isn't. But because all these people who have lib brain, he says the right words, so he must be good. And it's just ridiculous. Or they're of the right identity, so they must be good. Like, oh, but Kamala Harris is like, I think she's half German. What's up?
I was going to say, and what that means, it's like it reminds me of this Prager View video where you've got this fella who's like sitting by the fire, and this is supposed to be your fucking Uncle Tom now, and he's like the good guy, and like you like him in this lip service, and like whatever's gonna happen, whatever oppression's gonna happen under Biden, like the state cracking down on people, Biden, how I think he's going to react to it is like, oh, this is an isolated incident. You all know me. I wouldn't do this to you. That was just that one cop, or that was that one bad apple, or that was that one isolated incident. And it's going to be loads, even though there's systemic problems throughout this whole 4 years. But he's just going to have that, like, come on, you know me. I wouldn't do that to you attitude. And it's the same attitude why people are like praying to Bernie Sanders every single night tonight, and you know what I'm saying, it's a joke.
It's because they don't even know, like they don't even understand how far the political, the Overton window has shifted. They don't understand what actual revolutionary politics is. They don't understand what actual anti-capitalist left wing looks like. You know, like so many of these people are like really young. Like, okay, so since 2016, that's only 5 years. But if you think about it, like people that is it 18 to vote in America? So people who were like 13 when Trump got inaugurated are now voting age. So these people they don't have a decent, wide-ranging understanding of revolutionary politics or even anything remotely anti-capitalist. They don't even understand. Like, they actually think that, like, Bernie Sanders is the furthest left that anyone can be ever. And even that is, like, too far. Because the capitalist system doesn't even want a Bernie Sanders type reform. Like, everyone has conflated, like, Bernie Sanders is literally Mao. Like, you get that shit all the time. So these people don't have any kind of real historical understanding of politics or where politics is or what the difference between, you know, liberalism is to anything to the left of it. Like, people still think that, like, liberal means Democratic Party. But people don't understand that liberalism is literally the philosophy is the political philosophy of capitalism. So when you understand that, then you understand that the entire American system is liberalism, that both Democrats and Republicans are liberal. Because I'm not using it in the use of, Democratic Party. I'm using it in the correct term, which is the political philosophy of capitalism. Democrats and Republicans are both liberal. The entire political establishment is liberal. The entire political ethos is liberalism. And they don't even Bernie Sanders is a philosophical liberal. They just are. Okay, there's no doubt about it.
I love when you're revved up, though. It makes me so happy.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon we wrap it up then.
The right day.
It's over.
So you want to do that? I can do, or I can just flame all the nonsense they're going to talk about on here about how great everything is now.
Are you on there for a week, Ida?
Because I kind of just want to chat shit.
I'm just doing it 2 weeks.
Because you know that these people are going to say oh no, we fixed everything. Now it's Biden. Everything's good. We solved it. Whatever. Whatever. I won't go too much longer. What's the time? Whatever. I'll give it 10 minutes or something.
Tune in.
Yes, it's.
But literally, this part here is literally just them promoting nonsense. This is what I'm talking about. They're just gonna.
Eastern time.
This is why I muted it before, because they just love to promote themselves. They love to promote whatever they're selling. They love to promote whatever. That's what they're doing.
Here. Promote progressive ideas and voice.
And there's that term progressive as well. I was talking about that with someone in my comment section of my YouTube videos. He was like, no, progressives aren't social democrats. They're just people who want progress. And I was like, okay, so look, listen, in a sort of overarching sense, yes, progressives are people that want progress. But when you actually look at what that means and who uses that term in the United States, it's social democrats. It's the squad. It's people like this that call themselves progressives, but they're literally just capitalists. They're welfare capitalists. That's all it is.
Analyze that in a second. We're going to dip in and out of the rest of it, which is honestly not quite as important, to say the least. And so, because I've got to give you an analysis of that Biden speech. But here, let's just listen in for a second, because I'm curious what's happening here.
Amanda.
National Youth Poet Laureate. Mm-hmm. So they're reading poems?
Tied together, victorious, not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division.
What?
Nature tells us to envision that
America will never again sow division. You are living in a different universe.
And no one shall make them afraid.
This is something I'm on about when it comes to accents and that. She doesn't sound like she's from no hood. She sounds like she's some whitey out of the suburbia. I don't think that she'd be up there if she actually had some actual cultural accent of sorts. Just I'm not going to be out there in Parliament with my little Scouse accent. Do you know what I mean? I just sound like a little scally. Whereas if I was good day, sir, we all gathered here today on this communion for this gentleman over here. Do you know what I'm saying? That's more listenable.
But while democracy can be...
Well, you never...
thing about Candy Sounds as well. I think that she just literally she just sounds like she's just from white suburbia. Whereas I think that she blatantly
has its eyes on
I've heard a little bit of a podcast on Russell Brand about her burning me head out. Honestly, it was sad, But she grew up a little bit in the hood, but she blatantly just turned the whole back on her own accent in that community.
You don't get anywhere near that microphone.
What's whitewashing? Is she being whitewashed?
Catastrophe.
Well, it's a class thing because you don't get anywhere near that microphone if you're not politically related or politically in touch or upper class or something like that. You don't even get anywhere near this. So I'm not I don't know who this person is. I don't know her history or her background or whatever, but she's an author, she's a poet laureate, she probably went to a really nice upper class school. It might be the best HBCU in the country or something like that. I don't know. But you don't get to that place if you're not if you're not in alignment with the political establishment. You just don't.
About
Yeah, I know, yeah, but like I said, that accent and like how
I'm bad.
Boy, did I butcher that.
I'm bad at like
her.
Like
That was delivered much better by her.
your background, I think.
But
I'm just terrible at like American accents. Like I can't really listen to her accent and know if it's like a hood accent or not. I'm not that good with accents because there are some accents that like sound like that.
I mean,
but
people. Now I'm just.
Yeah, but I don't know what the.
She's not talking with slang.
Knowing that.
Well, no, she's never gonna do that, right? Like it's the inauguration. She's never gonna
stop saying it in the same staccato way of delivering.
Yeah,
poems.
exactly. That's
We
how
gotta
you
come
should
up with
be
something
like,
new.
all my people,
this
what
whole
is, what's
salmon
poppin', how are
goes
we?
well with cream cheese.
Nah, it's never gonna
On a
happen.
bagel.
Because you're addressing the people then, aren't you?
I don't think she was really doing
yes,
that.
my guy.
Yeah, only a little bit. She was way better than most, right? But still, there was
Whereas obviously if you got somebody from Eton speaking the Queen's English, you just
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Before
It's
we
like that.
get even more into analysis of Biden there. So
It's a class signifier. There's no doubt about it. Like linguistics are a class signifier. The way she's, carries herself and talks,
unity,
proper English, what you would call Queen's English, is a class signifier. Anyone in England can instantly hear someone
partly why they elected him
from Eton talk and know, oh yeah, that dude's a posh twat. Like, people know. Like, you can't hide that shit. Like, the second you open your mouth, everyone knows.
It's not Joe Biden trying to reach out and be more bipartisan. Yeah. It's just the reality of how these things work. But we're going to dip in and out of these things. But I keep promising you the analysis, and we got to deliver for you in a minute.
And again, it is another identity thing, because notice how many black people they're bringing up to give talks.
Without getting you engulfed in songs and poems.
But I don't know what this is going to be. Is he going to sing as well?
And prayers. So let's
as a nation and people of faith gathered in
pastor. Oh my God, he's going to give
let us unite in prayer.
He's going to give a prayer or whatever.
We gather under the beauty of your holiness and the holiness of your beauty. We seek your face, your smile, your warm embrace.
It's still amazing to me that
we petition you once more.
People actually believe in intercessory prayer.
We pray for divine favor upon our president.
It's amazing.
Joseph R. Biden.
Look at them all. They're actually just all standing there talking to their invisible man.
And their family.
That's the most powerful nation on the planet. With the biggest military on the face of the earth that murders innocent men, women, and children all the time. And they're there talking to their imaginary friend.
Their family.
It's nuts. The whole thing is insane.
I don't want much for everybody bowing their heads, and I don't want to get any further into talk of prayers. Okay,
let's staccato.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it's the same thing over. It's a God's going to protect us.
It's a genuine mystery to me how anyone believes it.
Anyway,
it's a true mystery. I will never understand that.
Let's do it. Let's do
it. It's just that, obviously.
So Joe Biden just spoke.
If the proletarians are ever going to become middle class or advance every even further, they're going to have to be religious in the United States, and they're going to show obviously that the role that that part of the fucking base plays.
So we just discovered that.
Because just like education, it's so that you can write down and then regurgitate bullshit to show that you're a good slave to be exploited under whatever fucking work you're gonna have in religion. It's just that same thing. I don't think anybody in the ruling class actually believes it. Otherwise they'd know that they're going to hell. But it's just literally they're gonna have to practice it and then say
we are going to do
pray I prayed last night, I spoke to God and all that shit, because it's just a cultural thing, and it just shows you what fucking tribe you're a part of and what class you're a part of.
It's just a relief,
at the end of the day,
it's a weapon. It's a system of control.
History that justified wars.
And so to have a president go, is there white supremacy still in this country? Of course!
It's a system of control. They can just control people with it. Because if you have an entire proletariat that believes in God, what does God want? God says, don't kill anyone, which means no revolution, which means no uprisings, which means we get to hold on to our power. Just stay there, stay docile, keep putting your hands together and talking to yourself, believing it's going to make a difference in the world, because that way you won't do anything that's actually going to make a difference in the world.
Joy cometh in the
That's what it is. The American Empire got a new leader. Nothing's fundamentally going to change. They're going to continue to kill and murder innocent brown and black people in Iraq and Afghanistan, Syria, Yemen, etc. And yeah, that's what it is. Alrighty, guys. Love you all. I'll see you around.
so much.
Peace.